All right, good morning guys. This is an FSD 14.1.1 video. So that came out last night. I installed it on the car. The release notes look much the same, nothing different. So we're expecting small kind of like bug fixes, minor improvements. The two things I'm gonna be looking out for are gonna be lane hesitation and just any brake jittering and uncertainty. So I am at a friend's cabin for the weekend because it's Thanksgiving here. So we're unfortunately like 35 minutes away from the closest like pocket of actual civilization. So the first bit of this video is just going to be kind of a morning drive time lapse along the highway here. If anything eventful comes up, I'll kind of remark on it, but like I think this part of the drive is going to be kind of uneventful. So yeah, I will see you guys in a few minutes when we get to Chase, which is not a huge town. I'm working with what I got here. I really want to make sure I can get a video for you guys today. So once we get to Chase, I'll do as much as I can in that area with hopefully other people and cars to get an idea of what's changed in 14.1.1. So I'm curious what's going to happen here. We're hitting a 30-kilometer-an-hour zone, which I think is a school zone, but it's 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. school days is what it is. So it's a Sunday. All right. We didn't slow down at all. I think I would say that's a good thing. Whether or not that's because it missed the speed limit or because it's understanding that the school zone isn't in effect. But either way, a pass right there. So well done. And we'll see. We're passing a 60 here. Are we going to register it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, nice job. And so for this whole test, until I say otherwise, we're in the standard profile. And then where we're going to like a food store. I'm going to say park in a parking lot when we get there. Actually, I'll do curbside since people wanted to see that more. So we should park at the front of this food store when we get there.
Please, yeah. Not Seattle, not Toronto.
Yeah, so fun times around these parts. If you care about baseball, I certainly do.
Oh, wow. I was wondering why we were signaling. And it's for that girl walking on the road, and it was so early that it almost caught me off guard. Like, I saw her, but it felt like the car wouldn't have understood that early, but it did, and it did a great job. So, yeah, FSD, I've always kind of, like, critiqued its behavior around pedestrians on the road, especially on, like, rural roads like this when they don't really have a shoulder to go off to. The car would react, but it would react a lot later. It wouldn't always signal, and it would never hit the person. It would never get that close, but it would just be uncomfortable. Like, I would question if it's going to do it. 14.1 seems like incredibly more like, it seems like it just sees so much further, and so it reacts to things at a more human-like distance. So that's really great to see. That's amazing. Nice job. Also, for something people are maybe curious, so we're on, I guess, like a highway, you would say. The speed limit, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to just pull up, I'm going to touch my phone here for a second, but I'm going to pull up Google Maps. Let's see. I think the speed limit here is 60, I'm going to guess. Google says speed limit's 80, actually. So you can see that. So Google thinks the speed limit is 80. Even if it's 60, the car is registering 70. So we're in standard profile, and I think it understands that although it thinks the speed limit's 30, it should be going 70. So that's a good insight into how that works. What I am curious of is I'm going to go down to Sloth. So let's say you're somebody that likes to just always go the speed limit, and you want to trust what the car thinks the speed limit is. Speed limit's not 30. Car thinks for some reason it's 30. I'm going to go down to Sloth, and what are we going to do? We have no one around us, is why I can kind of test this. So we are going to go down to, I'm thinking exactly 30. Yeah, it's 80, and we just passed a sign. It's 80 here for sure. So we're in an 80 zone, going 30 due to Sloth mode's behavior and FSD currently missing a speed limit sign. So this just shows you the potential issue with Sloth mode in its current state. So I'll go back to chill. I'll go back to standard and see what the car does. Again, it's very early, so I could kind of test this. There's no one around us. I can see for a while behind. There's nobody coming. But yeah, now in standard, which we were previously doing like 60-ish, we're only doing 50, which is I think like 30 under the speed limit. I'll put it in hurry. And right away we're going faster. I could feel the car pick up. So we're going, that speed limit says 60, but that just means like recommended speed for this turn is 60. The speed limit is still 80 for anybody questioning it. Also, something that I noticed getting into the car is it's grayed out right now because we're driving, but auto steer and traffic aware cruise control are both back in 14.1.1. So while I was in park, I was able to select both of those things and toggle into each if I wanted. So for whatever reason they weren't in 14.1, they are in 14.1.1 and available for me to select them. So that's great to see, because as amazing as FSD is, I obviously didn't want Tesla to kind of like force people's hand into using it, and I assumed that that wasn't what they were doing, so it's back now.
I did get all of my money back. It just happened in 2 different forms and 2 different dates.
It's funny because...
Okay, this may not happen, because if there's not that many cars on the road, I'm going to put it in standard just for the sake of it. What we're coming up to right now is a 1-lane bridge. So a human would kind of understand if there's another car coming, you would slow down. Okay, really good job. We like kind of slammed on the brakes, random. Okay, yeah, that wasn't great. I'm going to mark that. So that was definitely a bit of phantom braking or harsh braking, whatever you want to call that. As we got onto the bridge there. What was normal was for us to slow down a bunch until we saw if another car was coming, because like traffic has to yield to us, but still if there's somebody on the bridge, we would have to yield to them. So good job slowing down. Not great that it like braked as hard as it did getting onto the bridge. And I don't think, I mean, all the cameras are clean. I feel like the light is pretty good right now. It's the morning, but it's still light enough that it's not like we have sun coming into the camera in a weird way.
Out of all the things...
Okay, just for the sake of the video, to make things a little more interesting, I have us stopping at this gas station and stopping curbside. So I don't need anything here. It's just another data point. Really good job. That car's getting to the lane to turn, so immediately we recognize that we were able to turn, so good job. Yeah, curbside, where should it stop? Probably right here by the ramp would be really good. Okay, nice job. It was about to pull over, and then we were like kind of stop. I was gonna remark on it, but we were gonna stop basically like in parking spots, and it opted against that and pulled forward more, which was ideal. Otherwise, we would have been like parked sideways in parking spots. So, really, really good job. Okay, that was a perfect park. Let's continue the drive. So again, kind of something I mentioned last time, but we're sort of starting on gravel there-ish. Previous versions of FSD, like version 13, like absolutely would struggle with that. Version 14 just goes right away, no hesitation, which is really good to see. Okay, I can see there's a car coming on our right, so I think the car can. Yeah, it's way off in the distance here, so after this van, we could probably go. There's a car way, but I would go. A little bit of hesitation. Okay, nice job. Okay, so this coming up is sort of an interesting one. I kind of hate that we have someone behind us just in case the car ends up being a little bit more hesitant and we bother them, but we're turning left, and the way that this works is we're turning left onto like a major highway, 100 kilometers an hour plus. but we have like a little middle lane that we can sit in, and it's very much set up for that. People will, as long as traffic on our left isn't coming, we should tuck into that middle lane, and then we have like a full like merge area to kind of like get going. Okay, fortunately this guy's going right, so we have all the time in the world. So we're not even gonna, oh yeah, so there's cars coming right now. We should still go. It's gonna wait for this car anyway, so it's not really like treating it, oh, a little bit of a stop. Yeah, so it's not understanding this the way I'd hope, but that's okay. Hopefully you'll see it when we get going here. So this car is gonna go, and there's gonna be no traffic, and we should go. So basically this lane could be clear, and then we could like tuck ourselves into here, and then you have like a big merge, divided and everything, very safe before you enter that lane. The car was definitely not respecting that that was the case, and was gonna wait for no traffic from either way, it felt like, but. Okay, I'm confused what we're coming up to here. I don't go to Chase often, but where we want to be is off to the right here, and the car's currently recommending going past the entrance, doing a U-turn on the highway, and then turning like left into it. All of that doesn't make sense. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because a U-turn on the highway is not ideal or legal here in Canada. If it does try to go past, I'll let it, but I want to see, because it should just go, there's another entrance right down here somewhere, right here. Like it could come into the city right down here, so we'll see what it does. So yeah, we should have entered Chase right there, Chase entrance. It's wanting to turn around and take this same entrance, which is a bit strange. And it's wanting to U-turn up here where there are cones. So not only is U-turning on the highway illegal, it's just not even really possible right now due to the construction. So I hope that FSD, no left turns. Oh, we're slamming on the brakes, I hope that FSD bails on this and kind of keeps going and reroutes. Okay, that was very much the right decision. Other than like the bit of harsh brake for a second there as it was wanting to slow down to turn around, that was the right thing to do. So I'm curious what it would have done had there not been pylons. It seemed pretty like steadfast on like turning U-turn here, but yeah. I mean, as you can see, this is new construction. A lot of these like on-ramps and off-ramps and things like this didn't really exist, so the map data is undoubtedly behind. So yeah, this is a map data issue that FSD was able to fortunately like recover from. And as for all the U-turns that it tries to do here in Canada, at least, I would imagine that's a pretty easy fix to just basically like blanket statement say like in Canada, in BC at least specifically, U-turns aren't legal. Okay, so it is 9 in the morning. It is going to be hard to find a bunch of traffic. I'm going to do my best. This is, like I said, the biggest town. The closest thing after this is like driving all the way to Kamloops, for those of you that know, but I have to go back at some point. So this is the biggest town that I could get us in the most reasonable amount of time. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna get as much traffic as I was hoping from this bustling little town of Chase. Shout out to anybody from Chase that happens to be watching this. There's like a non-zero chance, so how's it going? Your town is great, and I stop here often for A&W on long road trips. Okay, so we are just... So I have it marked, parking lot, I have it marked on Curbside, so it should bring us right to the front of the store, drop us off, a la being in like, if you had an Uber or a taxi dropping you off right now, this is the like exactly what it would do. It would drop you off up here, you'd get out, and then continue on with your day, which I think is exactly what it's going to do. Wow. Pretty perfect. Dropped off, right at the front of the store, curbside. Thank you very much, Mr. Taxi. Off I go to the Chase Country Inn Motel. Start driving. I'm now a new passenger in this robo-taxi. Oh, we're kind of doing harsh braking. Not harsh braking, sorry. I'm using that word wrong. Brake stabbing, brake indecision, whatever you want to say. It's just different, again, than version 13. It's kind of this like very like on braking, but there was a person walking out of the store. Anyways, we're going to the motel now. Let's see how the car does. I'll say not to be like Debbie Downer from the little bit of driving we've been doing. I think we've gotten like 3 semi like brake stabbing events. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't think it's entirely fixed, the brake issues. I could be wrong. Those could be 3 very weird anomalies that we ran into. But yeah. I might be wrong, but like, I think the car never actually got down to 0 there. I think I only saw 1 kilometer an hour, which feels exactly like the situation where we would have gotten the double stopping in version 13, like that slow creep down to 1 and then continue. Whereas like, I think we just got down to 1 and then drove again without literally hitting 0, which is a very big improvement because, yeah, old FSD would double stop at that point. So I could be wrong. I could have missed when it said 0. Oh, there's definitely a pothole there also. I'm going to go test that in a second here. There's a pothole at the end of the street. So I'll get us to like go there and spin around, see how FSD does. Cool. So we are pulling up to the Chase Country Inn Motel, curbside. What's it going to do? Pretty much anywhere here would be good. I don't think it should go. I guess so. Okay, kind of like a bit of a hard brake there as we hit the gravel. And I mean, this is hard for it. We're just in a gravel lot now with no real like road to put us against, but the car's doing a good job. Okay, looks like we're gonna back into a spot here, maybe. Not sure what it's doing. Okay, back in park, that's fine. Technically we're over the line. The line is like really hard to see, but it's there. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put us down that road that had the pothole. Okay, so start self-driving. We should go left. There's people like right there. Is the only reason I'm like potentially gonna take over. We're parked again. Strange. Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. So I'll wait. Okay, I'm gonna start it again. So we should just go left to get out of here. We do have this tent here, but okay. Okay. Is it just gonna park again? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna snapshot that because that's obviously not ideal. So I'm gonna just get us out of here. I'll start it from here. I feel like the car should understand now. Just go out and left. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in. Okay, same thing. It thinks we're on the highway. Oh, there we go. Much better now. As we're driving to check out this pothole here, couple things. One, I think we're almost at 7,000 subscribers on X and almost 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is insane, the growth. Obviously a massive part of that is Elon's retweet, requote, reshare, and as well just having version 14. All of you are very interested in this, so thank you very much for all the support, comment, likes, shares that you've done. It's really cool. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. And anybody watching that isn't subscribed, if you want to subscribe to me, it means a lot, helps the channel out. But if not, throw a like. And if you want to do neither of those things, you just want to enjoy the video, that's totally fine too. It's just cool to have people here watching. We have, so a really big pothole right there is kind of like what I'm trying to, even this is a big, okay. It's parking here, so I guess it's fine. So what I want to do is, like, when we come to leave, there's definitely a pothole that I wouldn't want to drive through. So I'm going to just manually drive ourselves. Start self-driving. Okay, so there's a very big pothole, kind of like there, and definitely right there. It should avoid that one. It's hard. Yeah, I'd say it's like avoid. Like, see how it's like now coming back over. Interesting. Potholes are so hard. Like, the car, I feel like, favored the left of the lane there. It wasn't a dramatic like let's go around this pothole. It just never put itself on the right of the lane there, where the pothole was. Okay, this is good. People on the road. They moved to the other side of the road. Never mind. Okay, we're going to this cafe that's closed. I think everything's closed today. And I just have it marked to go to the parking lot. So let's see what the car does here for the parking lot. Okay, so we're going to probably have to creep forward a little bit. That's fine. And then, perfect, out go. Nice job. Okay, this is actually all street parking. So I have it set to park on the street at this cafe here. Cafe is on the left-hand side of the road. I'm totally fine with the car parking the right-hand side of the road, but I am curious what it's going to do here. Yeah, okay, it's going to park on the right. Nice job. I think. Yeah. Perfect. Nice job. I'll put up the cameras and you can see where we're going. Right here would be perfect if we stopped. Nailed it. The cafe is whatever, right here across the street, so this was well done. Okay, this town is not as busy as I had hoped. I hope this is engaging content. What else can we do? Holy, I think that was it. Okay, we're gonna head back to A&W here. Go to the Petro, start. We're gonna park in the parking lot at Petro Canada, see what the car does. But yeah, this is gonna just be more of like a mini impressions. What I will be able to do as a result of all the timing of this is tomorrow, when we drive home, I'll do the whole road trip with 14.1.1, which will obviously be like a lot of highway, but it'll just be an example of road tripping on the new version of FSD. I'll try and make a video out of that, similar to the road trip that I did in version 13, just talking about supercharging along the way and things like that. Because ideally, now that the car can park itself at chargers and everything, we potentially don't have to drive manually at all for the whole drive home. There's a drive-through here. We may as well test. I'll grab something for breakfast. We'll park at the Petro Canada, and then I'll kind of get FSD to go into the drive-through, see if we can replicate some of the success that others are having with drive-throughs, because version 14 absolutely understands drive-throughs. It's just not quite perfect, but clearly it can work, and it's really cool to see when it does. Park in a parking lot, probably right here. Could just go straight. This would be an ideal spot. Cool. Okay, really well done. Half a second, and then we'll get started at the drive-thru. All right, so what we're gonna do here is we are gonna test the drive-thru on version 14.1.1. Oh, it's a unique drive-thru because like it's like a part of a parking lot. So after this, we're really gonna have to understand where to go and not to like just kind of bail out. Because normally at a drive-thru, you get kind of like funneled into an area. So first of all, I'll start by just like seeing if it will follow this car and stop at this gate. I don't have a destination put in yet, and I'll do that as soon as we get through. So let's see here.
Welcome to W. May I take your order?
Yeah, can I get a sausage and egg, please?
All right, on the butter, the English.
The bun, please.
All right, and soda combo with hash brown and coffee.
Just the sandwich.
All right, anything else for you?
Just a glass of water, please.
All right.
Thank you.
$5.75. You're welcome.
Thanks. Okay, so order placed. I have no idea how this works. For the sake of things, I've put up the window. I'll give it a couple seconds here to see if FSD kind of moves on. There's a car behind us, which maybe is the prompt that it needed. We're now going, and we're going a little wide, swinging in. Okay, nice job, nice job. Still haven't touched anything. I'm trying to be as like obvious as possible with my feet way back. Again, this is definitely a unique one. Like every person's drive-through video has been so different, which I kind of like. Like Chuck did it at a Chick-fil-A or something. I don't know where he was. And it's not a window, it's like a door that opens and the girl comes out and hands it to you, which is so different than this. And then Dirty Teslas is different again. And it's very cool to see the car able to like handle that. Again, it's not quite perfect in version 14, but holy, it's really, really impressive that it works at all. And then there was a post last night by, oh, I don't want to butcher it. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And it basically said, like, when you navigate to a fast food place, like a In-N-Out, McDonald's, whatever, in these options, when it's saying like park, curbside, there should be another option that says drive-through. And then you click that and then it fully understands it, like where it's going as a drive-through. And then I replied to that saying like, after you click that button, like after you click, you know, A&W, click drive-through, then it opens up the menu to order what you're wanting to get from the store. So if I was going to A&W, I would have clicked, I'd have said, get me a sausage and egg for breakfast, whatever. Payment can all be done through here because the Tesla has your like payment system. The car could tell the store how far away you are. So if you're doing it 20 minutes early, it would know not to place the order until 5 minutes ahead. There's so much like involved in that. So that way, when you place the order through the car, because the car is driving for you, you're able to like make the quick thing. When you arrive, you just spout off like a code or whatever when you go through the drive-thru. McDonald's has that here. And you'd say code whatever. Okay, sounds good. You come, you get your food that you ordered off your car, and it's all very seamless. Okay, so this person just got their food, which means we're probably up next. I'm ready to pay and get the food. I think all from this one window. Again, sometimes there's a payment window, sometimes there's a food window. It all happens at this one window. So let's see how we do here. So I'm gonna roll the window down. Hey, sorry about that. Okay, so that didn't work. We drove past the window, unfortunately. So for me, that didn't work, and that's kind of been my experience with drive-thrus, is that for the most part, they're really good, but it'll do one thing really good and miss the second part. Thank you so much. You too, take care. Okay, so I'm gonna manually drive here, and there's a bunch of you asking in the comments, because I posted that traffic aware cruise control and auto steer are back. So for the drive home, I'm going to put it on auto steer. Okay, so I have auto steer enabled on this profile. Cruise control / auto steer unavailable. Enable full self-driving supervised in autopilot settings. I don't use auto steer all the time, but I think it should be working right now, right? Cruise control, auto steer unavailable. So here, autopilot, I have auto steer enabled, navigate on autopilot beta. So I'll try it one more time. Yeah, cruise control, auto steer unavailable. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna get on the highway and see if we get the option as well. Okay, so we are on the highway, fully marked highway. I'm gonna try again. Yeah, cruise control, auto steer unavailable. Benefit of the doubt, we're in a construction zone, maybe that's why, so I'll give it a second here. Normal auto steer would work here. It not working is a bit interesting to me. So yeah, like it's back. I'm able to like select it, but it feels like for whatever reason, it's not working properly. I'll pull over in a second here, like get out of the profile, get back into it to give one more shot to see maybe if there's something quirky going on there. But it seems like 14.1.1, it's back, but not like fully implemented yet, is what it's kind of what I would say. Okay, so we're pulled over here, we're off the highway. So autopilot, traffic aware cruise control, okay. And if I go to auto steer, I have to select this new auto steer beta. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe this message used to exist. I don't think so. So yes to that. Tap to activate drive, okay. So now we're gonna go on the highway. Okay, so now we're on a highway, we're fully out of construction. Tap to enable, yeah, cruise control, auto steer. And you can see like auto steer is like there, like I'm able to like select my lane preferences, like I want a 7-car follow distance. Scrolling doesn't do anything for the speed, so like normally I would be able to set a min-max speed, but yeah, definitely not working. I'm gonna try and pull over and enable FSD in a second here. And to me, that auto steer doesn't work. Like, I'm gonna try traffic aware cruise control. Maybe that works just to see, right? And then if not, I'm gonna toggle it back to FSD and finish the rest of the drive in FSD. So we have traffic aware cruise control enabled now, not auto steer. No, pressing the button doesn't even do anything. Again, I don't use traffic aware cruise control, I think like ever, but I think single or double press should do it, and it's doing nothing. So there's nobody at all. I'm gonna kind of pull over here. It's a very quiet stretch of road. I'm gonna go into park, autopilot, FSD. So it looks like FSD is the only thing that like works right now. Interesting. I'm in FSD, pulled over, and like the box went away, and this is black. Okay, there we go. It's almost like the camera kind of was like rebooting. Start full self-driving. Huh. Uh-oh. Okay. No. Now it's just saying self-driving is unavailable. Okay, there we go. Interesting. So traffic aware cruise control and auto steer, although back, I would say aren't working properly unless it's something that I'm doing wrong. And I apologize if that's the case, but it feels very much like those are, maybe they're slowly bringing them back. Like the menu is back and then they'll fully implement it later. Okay, so I just pulled over into this parking lot. There's going to be a bit of a weird cut here because I was just driving on the highway. I want to see the car do a back out here, get us out that way, and back onto the highway. So I think that this is right. Like, I think for us to go this way through the rest of the parking lot is perfect. So see how the car does here. So yeah, I guess while we're driving, because I think after this it's just going to be a lot of highway again, my like final impressions of version 14.1.1, still incredibly capable. Version 14 has so many things about it that are so impressive. So that's still there. That's still great. Lane hesitation I can't really speak to because, like I said, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere and everything around me is single lane highway. There wasn't really like an option, there wasn't really a scenario where I could tell if the car was hesitating to change lanes or not. So I will test that when I get home tomorrow. But brake issues, whatever you want to call those, stabbing, phantom brakes, harsh braking, whatever the terminology you want to say is, version 14.1.1 still does seem to have some brake issues, unfortunately. I've snapshotted those. Hopefully Tesla can kind of like look at that and see if there's anything that makes sense as to why that's happening. I would wait because we're dealing with like high speeds. Okay, nice job. And then, yeah, interestingly enough, like auto steer being back but not back, I don't know what that means. I'm not going to pretend to give any insight on that. Does that mean they're making changes to it, so that's why it's still not fully implemented and it will be perhaps like an end-to-end style of auto steer, or it's just going to be exactly what it was before and they just haven't brought it back for whatever reason? I don't know. Again, this is like early access beta software, right? So we're going to expect bugs like this. I'm not too upset about it. Yeah. And I guess the last thing, just to mention again, on YouTube, I have a membership. If you have any interest in supporting the channel, I think it's like $5 a month. If you're going to subscribe, please subscribe via a desktop computer, not an iPhone, because I think you end up paying like a 30% Apple tax. So if you want to do that, subscribe to me there as well. I think literally this morning I woke up and X has allowed me to do subscriptions as well. So because I've gotten like 5 million impressions and 2,000 verified followers, whatever it is, I've hit the criteria to allow myself to set up subscriptions. Again, I'm trying to be very delicate about how I do this because I want it to always feel like an option, not a requirement. I want my content to be free, enjoyable, and there for everybody for that doesn't want to pay. But if you do want to support the channel, that means a lot to me, and that will be there for an option for you. Because I mean, this morning I'm out with a bunch of friends for Thanksgiving, and I woke up early to get this video for you guys. So there is a lot of like my time and effort that goes into these things, but I enjoy it too. So don't feel like you're obligated at all to pay. But I will have a membership set up on X in the next day or two here, and I do have one on YouTube. And shout out to those of you, I think there's 5 right now members on YouTube. Shout out to the 5 of you. You are all incredible. I'll put you on the screen right here. Thank you so much. And yeah, if this is the end of the video, that means we made the rest of the drive without any issues. And I just don't want to show a bunch of sped up highway because I think it's quite boring. So I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Thank you so much.